it's Thursday. So you know how that goes. As we're talking with the TTPSs, they always want our help to do their jobs a little bit better. They can't do it without us, and we cannot feel safe without them. And this is what we do to bridge the gap here. So to talk to us about all of the things going on with the TTPS, ASP Owie Russell is here, as he does on every Thursday on the Morning Brew. So thank you so much for joining me. Let's get started first. I know there was an officer who was shot some days ago, and there was a call for blood. How is he doing?
Well, first of all, let me say good morning to you, sir. And on behalf of my Commissioner of Police, Deputy Commissioners, Assistant Commissioners, First and Second Division Officers of the Trinidad Tobago Police Service, good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. I hope that all is well. With respect to you were referring to Officer Kun.
Kun, yes.
Right, I thank you for asking that question. Thus far, he is still critical, but he got the blood that he needed.
Good.
I want to say thanks to the officers and all who responded to the calls. You know, sometimes you look at comments on the media and people don't understand. As much as we have our issues, people need to understand the importance of the police being that line of defense between them and the criminals. And, you know, I want to just caution Trinidad and Tobago about their comments, you know, because regardless of how you feel about the police, that's somebody's son, somebody's daughter, somebody's brother, somebody's sister, and yes, things happen, and where the police service would have done wrong, we take steps to correct it. May it be persons who have been charged for criminal offenses, put before the court of law and stuff like that. So I am asking the public to really be mindful of their comments, because no one knows what tomorrow holds for them.
And this doesn't sound like a threat. This isn't do this or else. This is you just asking people to be human.
Let us be
humane.
Human. Let us be considerate. Let us be compassionate. And I know you may have an idea because you may have seen some of the comments.
Listen, I get some of the comments. So yeah. we in the media, we're not immune to any of that. You know,
so I'm saying, you know, we really need to be mindful, because this job that we do here, you and I, this is a lot.
It is.
Other persons can't do what we do and would not do what we do. So I'm asking that, you know, tell us where we went wrong so that we could fix it. Let's not be mean.
I agree. I said that all the time.
Mean and disrespectful. We will all have different views because we are human beings. But moving on, let's go.
Yeah, but I'll be like, no, I'm glad you see that, because there's so many times when they're like, oh, the media asking stupid questions. Well, tell me the question to ask. What do you want to know? But let's move. You're right. Let's move the conversation forward. But I am glad as well that you did talk about some of the mistakes that the police made, and I've been looking for an opportunity, and I'm glad I have it here, to ask about the police officers under PDO, preventative detention orders, under the state of emergency. There are no less than 5. I know one is an SRP. There are some other officers. Can you give us an idea of, as best as you can, who these officers might have been, what roles they would have played within the TTPS before this? Do you know? I mean, without getting yourself into any trouble, were they commendable? Were they the kind of people who won awards before and all of a sudden they did this? What can you tell us about some of these officers?
Well, let me tell you something. I hear that question, and I would answer you in a manner like this. I am proud to see that the Trinidad Tobago Police Service, notwithstanding that we will have our issues, that we take the opportunity to deal with our own. That's number one. That is what should stand out first and foremost in everybody's minds, and we are not afraid to put our own officers on PDOs. PDOs come by a way of information and intelligence, or information that would then be analyzed and turned into intelligence. And if there's sufficient information to prefer a charge of the end of it, you know, same is done. If at the end of the PDO period we don't have sufficient information, we are in a position where we may have to release the officers. However, we will continue to build and to get further information and stuff like that. No one is randomly placed on a PDO. So you must be involved in something, or put your mouth in something, or done something to end up there. The average citizen wouldn't just end up on a PDO. So with that, I would say investigation is continuing, and we continue to get more information and see if we could transform it to intelligence, and then we would do the needful. And I'm going to tell you, let me add one more thing again. When it looks to preferring charges against police officers or any member of the protective services. That is, you must send a file to the Director of Public Prosecution, who will now review the standard of evidence gathered and then give you particular instructions. So by no means are we acting on our own when you see an officer is placed before the court. And it's rather that we release the person and continue the investigation, then we charge the person, put them before the court with insufficient evidence, and then we have to pay them some money.
That's the thing.
So, moving on to the day's topic about the landlords now.
I just had one follow-up question because you did raise it, and if the person is not charged, now we are not accustomed to states of emergency, well, we are now, but in a state like this, if somebody's not charged, are they on suspension automatically, or can they just go back to work? I feel that would be a very awkward conversation.
Well, it would fall within the remit of the commissioner. He has the authority to direct and run the organization, and it will depend on what is before him.
All right, I know I made you a little uncomfortable. Now we
can talk. No, you did not.
Now we can talk about the topic of fire. We are talking today about landlords. Mm-hmm. We had a very serious case on Don Miguel Road some times ago, and if there's an update on that, I would like it to know if these people have been charged. But I know you also do have advice for landlords when you're doing these situations.
Yes, well, let us say landlords, we understand some persons, a lot of persons take mortgages to make these investments into these apartments. So there's a bit of an anxiety and a bit of haste to rent these or to have these apartments occupied. We want to say to landlords, better you take your time and do your due diligence. What might be your due diligence? And based on who you're renting to, we'd ask you to check their immigration status. We would ask you to do some background checks. Ask about previous landlords that you can have a reference. You can get some information as to this type of tenant, behaviors, etc., so that you will be so guided. We would be asking you to have a certificate of character, which is something that has become necessary when you start to rent these apartments, because you want to know what's going on. We want to ask that you ask for a job letter and probably a payslip. We are asking persons, yes, you may be a bit skeptical about showing the landlord your payslip, so it's just about proving that you have a regular income coming in that you can pay for your apartment. And we are asking landlords to do their due diligence rather than have a situation where 2-3 months a tenant haven't paid and then can't find them or something.
How can the TTPS help in this? Now, a certificate of character only tells you if you have cases before the court. It doesn't mean you hear that we knew who he was or he was familiar to police. Can I go to a police station and say, listen, I have this guy, this is my landlord. Oh, you know him? Like, ever see him?
This is a tenant, you mean?
Tenant, tenant, I have this guy, he's a little shady, I don't know what to do. How can they talk to the police about this?
Well, the Trinidad Tobago Police Service is there. We are there to help everyone. So if you want to get some information, if he's known to us or whatnot, we would definitely help you, as opposed to you in a situation where you have criminal element renting your place and you're not even aware.
Yeah.
Which is something that happens quite often. It is indeed scary because you really don't know who these people are. And I will tell you, I'd expand a little bit more. You can do all of this and still end up in a particular position. Because let's say the person have a significant other. And they decide, well, listen, quote unquote, as we say, I am the hot one. So you use your female partner.
Right.
With the proper records and everything to be that person name, but you may be paying the rent in the background. You lodging there, you sleeping there, you're eating there, but just everything is on her name.
Right. And this person is a guest, so you can't exactly kick this person out because this person technically doesn't live there.
Definitely.
Yeah,
so
scary stuff.
Nothing is foolproof. Nothing is foolproof, but it's just steps to help secure yourself and put yourself in a better and a safer position when renting to your tenants.
And just a final question, in that particular case I spoke at the beginning of this, when the person was kidnapped and taken almost to Venezuela, are there charges in that case as yet? Are you aware?
I am not certain, but I know persons were indeed arrested, I believe, but I would not want to speculate on national TV because I know we are held as standard.
Of course, you can't get this wrong. Us too.
Where we speak, it is indeed recorded, and we are judged based on our statements as well as our actions or inactions. So, but I know there were persons arrested. I'm not certain. I could get the information, and I will definitely pass
Owie Russell, thank you very much. I appreciate your time and all your updates, and I hope I didn't make you too uncomfortable, but I know you're a tough man. You can handle it. Take a break. We'll be right back.